Captain Mark Kelly. Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm a fan of fuel cells as well, having used them on other vehicles in other places. And I do look forward to my invitation to the Detroit Auto Show at some point. Mr. Secretary, good to see you again, twice in 2 days. That's right. And thank you for being here today. I was really proud to have had the opportunity to work to craft the bipartisan infrastructure law, both as a member of this committee, but also in the group of members that negotiated the final deal. And one of the aspects that I'm most proud of is how this law was crafted to meet the needs of different states having different needs. And in Arizona, one top priority is funding to strengthen our state's interstate highways. Arizona's different from many other states. When the interstate highway system was designed in the 1950s and 60s, Arizona was a small population state, and our infrastructure needs looked a lot different. Compared to other regions, our interstate highways are not designed to meet the needs of our growing state and the growing Southwest. Right now, Interstate 10, which connects Phoenix and Tucson, the two largest metropolitan areas in the state, still, to this day, just has 2 lanes and sections, long sections, and a single accident can cause traffic jams for hours. I've spent 6.5 hours on that highway, stuck in a traffic jam, when the normal drive is about 90 minutes. And these traffic jams happen every single day on average. And despite being 2 of the fastest growing cities in the country, another issue we have is Phoenix and Las Vegas. Phoenix and Las Vegas still are not connected via an interstate highway. And that's why I worked in this committee and on the floor to support the creation of the new National Infrastructure Project Assistance Program, which we're calling the Mega Projects Program, to fund major transportation projects with national or regional economic mobility and safety benefits. Or, in other words, projects like the I-10 expansion between Phoenix and Tucson, or the construction of I-11 between Phoenix and Las Vegas would be these mega projects. So, Mr. Secretary, would you agree that Arizona and other fast-growing states have different roadway infrastructure needs than other states? And how do you believe the infrastructure law can help states like Arizona fund long overdue interstate expansion projects?
Thank you for the question, and the example you raise is a great one of how the infrastructure needs of our states differ. I come from a community that lost about 30% of its population in the 60s, 70s, 80s, up to the time that I was mayor. And so we had built for more roads than we had taxpayers or drivers to support them, and found that in some contexts, some of our roads needed to go on a diet, although I'm pleased to say my hometown's growing again. But some of the fastest growing communities are in places like Arizona. And the needs are an example of why, for example, in Federal Highway's internal guidance, there was an effort to point out that none of that would stand in the way of a capacity expansion where it's appropriate. And you've raised both the need for, or the vision for, an entirely new stretch of highway with I-11, or a capacity expansion on I-10. There are many sources of funding in the formula funds, potentially mega projects and others, that could go toward this use in the infrastructure law. I would also add one thing I've admired in Arizona is the funding and support that's gone into transit, including across community lines, party lines, county lines. And that can serve to take pressure off of congestion, even while capacity expansion is being considered at the same time.
And is there anything you could share about the timing for the Mega Projects Program?
I can tell you that we're working right now on getting the guidance ready, and that part of what we're working on there is to make sure that it's a flagship example of a notice of funding opportunity that's user-friendly for applicants. So we want to get it right, but we also want to get it out the door quickly.
And what do you think applicants might need to do to be successful in applying for these funds?
Well, of course, first the guidance will lay out the kind of basic expectations for the use of federal taxpayer dollars. Next will be the aspirations of these funds that are going to projects, as you know, having helped to craft them, that can't necessarily be met by any other source. Too big, too complex, too multi-jurisdictional, or for some other reason, might not happen but for a grant out of the MEGA program. So the ability to demonstrate that and to speak to the other policy priorities that are encoded in the law, I think will make for the strongest applications.
Well, thank you, and we look forward in Arizona to see the rolling out of this mega projects program and the details for how to apply and be successful. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Senator Kelly, thank you so much. Thanks for your deep involvement in these issues on behalf of Arizona and our country. Thank you. I believe Senator Padilla, who's been waiting patiently on WebEx, is ready to participate. And after that, if we have no one else who joins us that hasn't already spoken, I'm going to yield back to our ranking member, and then I'll close it out. Senator Padilla, are you with us on WebEx?
I